Good afternoon, guys. How are you? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. I just left Sprouts picking up some snacks for my trip starting this evening. Something I picked up at Smith's the other day is a bag of birdseed because this makes me very happy. Wait, look. Oops. You can't tell, but they are very, very happy pigeons. All right, so my failing with feeding pigeons, and there's someone out there saying, Steven, the fact that you feed pigeons is a failing. I would say to you, you've clearly never been desperately hungry and had someone throw something you needed to survive your way, because that has happened to me a number of times, which is why I love feeding pigeons and stray cats and pretty much anything else that came my way. If I found a hungry raccoon, I'd be feeding raccoons too. But my feeling is that I try to throw extra food in the direction of those that seem like the most desperate. You know those pigeons, they have like mange and half their feathers are missing. They've got one little toe or even 1 foot. And I try to throw extra food their way. And very much like myself, sometimes when opportunities are thrown my way, sometimes I'm so afraid to take advantage that I kind of back up, you know? So I have to be patient with those pigeons who don't know how to accept wonderful things, like a bag of sunflower seeds. That's a life lesson right there, right? All right, I am clearly hungry. I am over hungry, so I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat on the way home. It is 3:25 in the afternoon. I'm hungry, and I have to be at the crew room at 8:25 this evening to fly to Baltimore. So I will see you guys later. What, buddy? What? What? I'm gonna go upstairs and take a nap. Do you want to join me? Is that a no? I think that's a no. I think you're gonna hang out in the sun. You wanna take a nap with me? Is that a no? Do you wanna hang out in your little nest of paper? Okay. Look who came to take a nap with me. Yes, I know. Hi, or I should say bye. I have to go to work. I thought I'd come over and say goodbye first, but look at how cute you are. It's so hard to leave you. It's so hard to leave you. It is. Oh my God, I love you. Oh, that belly. Oh, that belly. Hey guys, so I'm about to head into the airport, and I'm gonna say something very, very strange. Something you'll never hear me say. I don't want to go to work. I do not want to go to work. This is a very simple trip. It's going to be a great trip with a good layover, but I took a nap today. Eleanor cuddled up next to me, then Buddy came in and took over her spot because he's a pig. But then he came in, he laid down next to me, and then insisted, because I know what he's saying, that I put my hand down like near his chest where he can wrap his paws around my hand. Yep. And then he goes, and he passes out. He takes a nap with me. It was so hard to get out of bed. I did not want to leave the house. And then when I left the house, you saw Eleanor, right? How can you leave? But let's go to work. But I did get lucky. When I was driving up to the first employee parking lot, which is closest to the airport, you know, at this time of night, there's almost never a parking spot. So I saw 2 flight attendants wearing my uniform, walking from the other parking lot, which is far away. And I'm thinking, well, there's a sure sign there's not going to be a parking spot. And voila, there was a great parking spot right here at the first. Oh, and I see another one. Huh. So I got very lucky with parking tonight. These lights give me an Oompa Loompa look, don't they? Yummy. I'm a little anxious about this flight tonight to Baltimore. There is a line to my ticket counters at my airline that I have not seen ever. Never. It looks like the line for security. Yeah, so we're gonna be full. We're gonna have people sitting on the wings. Hey guys, hi. So I found out why that line was so long at the ticket counter
two of our flights were canceled, Philadelphia and Orlando. So they had to be rebooked. But here's a pro tip: if you're ever supposed to be on a flight that's canceled, check your email first before reacting or running to the ticket counter, because you may have already been rebooked. Always check your email. I'm chasing on this flight. We all know how much I love chasing. In fact, I have a chaser line this month, so all of my trips I'm chasing. Now, I don't love chasing, but I love the trips. This line was my first choice. I usually get my first choice because no one else really wants what I want. One day I'll explain that better. But so this trip, for example, it's one leg to Baltimore, 25 or 26 hours in Baltimore. On day 3, go home day is one leg to Houston and then one leg to Vegas with no sits. I mean, it's a low credit trip, but the quality of the trip is fantastic, you know? So yeah, so the whole month is like that. I'm really very excited about it. I might swap out one trip if I can, but no worries about it. But I'm looking forward to flying with this crew, really nice people. And that's it. I will see you in Baltimore. Hey guys, how are you? I just caught sight of the door. I have to remember to engage the safety lock because, you know, I'll get in bed and surprise, housekeeping's there and you have no clothes on. So I have to remember to engage that lock. So I'm in Baltimore. I love this hotel primarily because of that right there. It's a full-size fridge with a full-size freezer. So nice to be able to freeze your ice packs. Although this hotel occasionally has ants, so I have to watch out for those. What was I going to tell you? Oh, the flight from Vegas here to Baltimore was effortless. The only challenge, I'll say, was really once that boarding door opened and we had to wait for wheelchairs. Now, at my airline, we depend on the airport to supply wheelchairs to get our passengers off the aircraft. You know, to the passengers, it's us. It's not the airport. So they're thinking my airline is failing them and not getting a wheelchair for them in a reasonable amount of time. And we asked for 3 wheelchairs. 2 of our passengers chose that to walk because it was just taking too long. Our third, she was really in pain and had a difficult time walking, but she was also very impatient to get off the plane after over 4 hours. So at a certain point, she gave up waiting for a wheelchair as well, and we had to kind of walk her slowly up to the gate. It was a little frustrating because, you know, she's a guest in our home, basically, and here we are kind of making her struggle. But I got to the hotel room. We're having, I'm not sure if we're having a meltdown or not. There were a few flights that were canceled out of Las Vegas. And then there are 2 crews that are sitting downstairs in the lobby not knowing what to do. A third crew went to the airport and then had to turn around and come back to the hotel because their flight was canceled. They're going to, I guess, delayed for 5 hours. So something is going on. I don't know what it is, but thankfully I was not affected today, and I'm here for almost 26 hours. So hopefully everything is ironed out before I have to head home. This hotel offers breakfast. They offer us a full breakfast from 7 to 10 or 7 to 11. It's about 10 minutes of 6 or 5 minutes of 6. I don't really think I want to stay awake for the quality of breakfast that they have downstairs. It's those sort of mystery eggs. You know, they cook them for you in front of you, but their origin is a big plastic bag. It looks like that milkshake mix at McDonald's, you know. So I think I'm going to skip the breakfast down there. I've got some yogurt. I have a little smorgasbord. Some of these little mandarins. Look how teeny these things are. It's like the size of my eyeball. I've got some cashews. And I went to Sprouts today and I got these guava and cheese pastries. So I'm going to, and some water. So that's going to be my breakfast this morning. While I was unpacking my lunch bag for these snacks, I pulled my these cashews out. I also have some Cheez-Its. I know it's a lot of Cheez-Its for, you know, in flight or something. Have you seen these bags before? They're at IKEA. There's a 3-pack. This is the large, there's a medium, and this is the small. And you can still see the small is fairly sizable. This is a pound of cashews, just for a point of reference. But it's a very thick silicone bag with like a zip top element here, which I'm sure holds fine by itself, but they give you this little plastic bar which you just slide across the top. They're completely airtight. Once this is on there, this is like nothing's getting in or getting out. All 3 of them, the whole set was $15. Those stash bags, if this were a stash bag, this would be like $35. I don't understand why they're so expensive, but I'm not going to buy one. These really are fantastic. And for 15 bucks for 3 of them, and they stand up straight. It's a flat bottom. I mean, you can't beat it. So I'm going to sit here, eat my little smorgasbord, and then crawl in bed. And I'm going to have enough time to really get a good solid sleep. And then I might go into the city. I also might stay in my room, but I'm thinking of going into DC. It's nice to be able to have a long layover and enjoy the layover and not have to study for recurrent, right? All right, so I will see you guys later. Have a good morning or evening or afternoon, wherever you are. See you later. See you soon is what I meant to say. Bye.
Hey guys, good afternoon. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon, and I'm watching Mommy Dearest. I haven't seen it in years. She just lost her contract. She was very upset. But yeah, so it's about 2:30 in the afternoon. I fully intended on going into Washington, D.C. today. I wanted to go into the Holocaust Museum. I've never been before. But a moment ago in your time, I told you I was not going to go downstairs for breakfast because it wasn't very good. Of course, for some reason, I got it in my head, I'm going to take advantage of that free breakfast. Never say no to a free breakfast in a hotel. Well, it ended up being juice, some like instant oatmeal, and a breakfast sandwich, a Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwich, one of the pre-made ones. It was a mistake. Let's just say that it was a mistake. So I came back up here, watched some YouTube, hoping to get drowsy. Yeah, got in bed, set 3 alarms to wake up in time to take a train to the city. Apparently, I turned all 3 off without waking up. So, yeah, I woke up around 2:15 in the afternoon. So, I have like 7 or 8 hours really before I should go to sleep so I can wake up tomorrow morning. But honestly, it's going to be a waste of time for me to go all the way into the city for like 2 or 3 hours, really 4 hours. The only thing nearby to do is go into a casino. I live in Las Vegas. No, thank you. Or there's a big mall nearby, and I don't need to spend more money. If I'm going to spend money, it's going to Goodwill. So I'm going to hang out in the room and watch Mommy Dearest, snack. I've got plenty of food. The bed is sumptuous. It is absolutely, I may not get out of it. And then, yeah, I'm just going to hang out, relax. So nothing else going on here. So I will see you later. And ta-da, like that. It's already morning. It is 6:21. I have 9 minutes to get downstairs for the shuttle. I made sure to check that it was leaving at 6:30. So we're good to go. So let's go. And 3 minutes later, I'm back in my room. So I went downstairs to get the shuttle, and the young lady behind the counter said, "Oh, have you checked your flight information? Because a lot of flights have been canceled." I'm like, still? So I checked my information, and I said, I said to her, "I've been here for 26 hours. I'm sure they've solved all these problems. My flight to Houston is canceled." So she said, "Go back up to your room, call crew scheduling from there, because there are a bunch of women sleeping on the sofas in the lobby downstairs,
Probably because they're stuck here too. They weren't flight attendants from what I can tell. But, so she said, go back up to your room right now. so I don't lose my room in case something else happens. So let me call crew scheduling. I will talk to you later and get you updated. Hey guys. All right. So, last time I saw you, I think I was going back up to my room this morning because my flight to Houston was canceled. Well, I got back up to the room, and then I had a sneaking feeling that I really should be going to the airport. So I opened up a few read files and documents, and I went looking through Facebook, our union page, and there was a reminder at some point that when our flights are canceled, we still have to go to the airport, even though we know full on that we're not going to be getting on a flight. We still have to go to the airport and check in for our flight. That's what we have to do. So I went back downstairs, and the shuttle was available to take me to the airport. So I got here to the airport probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes before my check-in. So plenty of time. And then the flight was canceled, of course. There's no gate agent up here. So I found another gate agent. This is a story. I warn you in advance. Went to a different gate agent to see if it's possible that they could somehow make a note that I had showed up on time for my check-in. Just because that's the start of my duty day, and it feels like today's going to be a very long day. So I wanted to make sure that my duty day was recorded. But, of course, she couldn't do that or couldn't find out how, and operations wasn't answering their phone, so there's a meltdown. Yeah, so I found another crew that was hanging out the other end of the airport, hung out with them for a while. Then I saw my flight crew. I saw my captain and my first officer that I'm supposed to be flying with all day today. They passed by, so I was like, hey guys, how are you? They were going on a ferry flight directly to Las Vegas. They were supposed to fly to Houston and then Las Vegas, but they were now working a ferry flight, which is a flight with no passengers. And they don't even need crew except for the flight crew. They don't need flight attendants. So I just assumed that because I was flying with them all day long, that I would be on that ferry flight as well. But you know what, assuming things gets you, making an ass out of you and me, right? So I wasn't listed on that ferry flight. So I've been on hold with crew scheduling since 6:15, 6:30 this morning. And no answer, of course, no answer. And then the gate agent couldn't tell me anything. The flight crew is like, I said, what time are you scheduled to leave? They said, we're supposed to leave now. So they took off. The plane left, leaving me here in Baltimore. So I'm still on hold. I'm hanging out here at the airport by myself because the other crew got a hotel room. So I'm hanging out here at the airport, and I was on hold with crew scheduling for 3 hours, 4 minutes, and 35 seconds when they finally answered. And all they could do is tell me that the cancellation team would eventually get in touch with me to let me know what I'm supposed to do. Right? So I've been sitting here at the airport trying to be as patient as possible because I have no control over the situation. And of course, they're testing the fire alarm at the airport just because I'm in such a wonderful mood. I love my job. Hey guys, how are you? So it's 10:35 in the morning. I am wandering the airport out of sheer boredom. You can see I am all alone in the airport. I was just browsing the departures board right out there to see what the possibilities might be, what the options are for crew scheduling to get me home today. I'm supposed to be home by 12:30 this afternoon West Coast time, so we'll see what's going to happen. I don't know. Ideally, they're supposed to get me home within 2 hours of my original arrival, but we're having an IROP situation.
The departures board shows one Dallas flight, one Houston flight, and one Las Vegas flight that could get me, you know, on the way home. All of them are on Southwest. The challenge there is I think Southwest right now is probably more affected by this cancellations than we are. So the odds of me being able to get a seat on one of those flights is probably pretty slim. I think I'm gonna go get a bite to eat because I'm hungry and bored and irritable. So the best solution is food. So I'll see you later. I found a very elusive thing at the airport, a charging port. So I'm gonna charge my phone before I charge my belly. Hey guys, hi. I love my job, I love my job, I love my job. It's about 10 past 12. I've been here for more than 5 hours and I haven't heard anything from crew scheduling or the cancellation team. So we'll see what's going on. I don't see anything on the board that would be able to get me back to Vegas anywhere near my original time to get back to base. So there will be a point at some time this afternoon that I don't want to go home today. Just because, you know, if I spend another 2, 3, 4 hours here at the airport, I don't honestly want to get on a 5-hour flight to get back to Las Vegas. I certainly don't want to work a flight back to Las Vegas. I'd rather deadhead at this point, but I'd rather honestly just go back to the hotel and get a good sleep because I am super irritable. If I have to work a flight, I'm gonna have to just watch my mouth. That's what's gonna happen because I'm just tired. I feel kind of slightly abandoned, but you know, I'm not the only person in the situation. There are probably hundreds of other flight attendants who are in exactly the same situation, if not worse. I'm lucky in that I got a long layover. I spent like 20 hours in bed yesterday watching Twilight movies, so it could be worse. I could be here having worked multiple flights and not had any rest at all. So let me count my blessings there, but I'm still going to complain. So I will see you later, hopefully with some better news. Hey guys, so it is 3:06 in the afternoon, and I'm still here in Baltimore. I have not heard a word from crew scheduling or this cancellation team I really never heard about, and I'm feeling really, I don't even know how I feel. I'm beyond irritable, kind of into mad, but it's tinged with something else that feels like abandonment. So yeah, I'm really irritated. I'm wondering, like, if I had a crew with me, it would be maybe a little different, just to have someone to talk to or bounce something off of or vent to. But I'm just, you know, here wandering around talking to you, venting to you, sorry. I can't imagine what it would be like to be a new hire right now by themselves. So that leads me to trying to put together a gratitude list, because I'm struggling to be grateful right now. Gratitude list is number one. I have seniority. I've been here 5 years. I know that this will pass. It's just irritating. Second, what's the next one? I have money in my pocket so I can go get something to eat. I have a feeling some of these restaurants close early in the airport, like McDonald's and stuff like that. So I should probably get a bite to eat before it gets too late. Yeah. There are power outlets. I found a number of power outlets that work here in the airport. So I can use those. And the place is empty. So, I mean, no one's going to be fighting me for power outlets. What else? I don't know, trying to think of something else to be grateful for. I do still love my job. Somebody out there right now is typing, you should go to a different airline. It won't happen anywhere else. Things like this happen to every airline. In fact, I think Southwest has even hit harder than we've been in this IROP situation. So I understand why we're in IROP. The weather in Florida totally screwed up everything for us and other airlines. But my real frustration is the fact that I've been here for more than 8 hours now, and no one has said anything to me. There's no peep. There's not any information, no expectations, nothing. And I'm feeling a little hopeless because there are no flights out of here. I don't know if there's any flights out of here after now, because the Orlando flight is about to leave just now. I can see the plane. They're going to pull away in a moment or two. A Dallas flight left a few minutes ago, but there's no other flights out of Baltimore with my airline, at least until after 6 o'clock. I think the board will refresh, and maybe there's something coming out later, but wah, 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 blah, blah, blah. Just me complaining. Oh, one other silver lining. I just saw a TV playing, and it's playing HGTV. So I think I'm going to go grab a bite to eat and then come back to this little spot and watch some home HGTV with captions, you know. And there you go. So I will see you hopefully next time with some better news. All right, guys. Hi. So we have movement. It is 10 minutes of 4 in the afternoon. I was on hold with crew scheduling, and crew scheduling called me. I was kind of frantic for a moment because I was trying to swap between the two calls, or drop the other call and take this one, but whatever. I somehow managed to swap the call. And so I talked to crew scheduling. She's like, "Are you at the hotel?" And I'm like, "No, our contract states that I have to come and check into the airport." So I've been here for like 8.5 hours, and I wasn't sounding as loving as I wanted to. So I did apologize. I was like, "I'm so sorry to use this tone. You've had a long day. It's probably not going to end anytime soon. I apologize." And she's like, "No problem." We ended up having a laugh over this, so it's all good. Because you don't want to be mean to crew scheduling. Let's see. So she told me there are no more flights out of Baltimore for me to go back to Vegas. So I'm going to be deadheading tomorrow morning. I'm taking one of the first flights out, the first flight out. I think my show time is 4:55 a.m. I'm not mad about that because that gets me home. Unless, she says, the flight is canceled. The company is canceling flights in order to try to reposition and like get back to normal so it can like move on and make sure everyone's where they have to be and so on. So there is a chance that that flight could be canceled. But so now I have to wait for another 20 minutes or a half hour for Hotel Connections to find me a hotel room, because the hotel rooms are all busy because of all the cancellations. I think I told you there were people sleeping in the lobby when I left this morning. So so they are going to call me when or text me and let me know when a room has been secured for me, so I know where to go. So that's good. So there's hope. There's hope. Being that tomorrow is my day off, that means I get a DOR. A DOR is called a day of restoration. So it makes up for a day that they took from me, and that's because of IROP. So I do get a DOR, which I can place on a future trip in this month. So I'm probably going to choose the last day of the least attractive day of my month. So I'll try to apply it on one of those. But we'll see what happens there. The next time I see you, I will hopefully be in a hotel room. While I've had plenty of rest yesterday, I'm exhausted by just sitting around this airport. So I want to jump in bed and wake up tomorrow morning really early, and then hopefully get on a plane and go home. So I'll see you at the hotel, I hope. I haven't heard from them yet, but I'm sure they're working on it.
And I just noticed I get 5.5 hours more credit for this trip than I did originally. So there's a silver lining. I was supposed to deadhead tomorrow from what the crew scheduler told me, but looking at my schedule now, it looks like I'm actually working the flight back. But I would rather work a flight from Baltimore to Vegas than deadhead any day. Thank you very much. So there's that. All right, so this time I promise next time I see you, I'll be at the airport, at the hotel. See you there. Hey guys, hi. Look, I'm in a hotel room. I can barely speak out of gratitude and exhaustion. Oh my God. So I think the last time I saw you, I was waiting for someone from Hotel Connections to contact me regarding my hotel room. I was supposed to wait 20 minutes to a half hour for that and nothing. So I called the hotel to say, hey, you know, my name is Steven. I'm with XYZ Airline. Could you please see if I have a reservation? And she said, no, I'm sorry, you don't. Could you look in the email? Just because they may have just made the, you know, sent the information. No. So I called crew scheduling and the phone wouldn't work. Like their line, there was a recording that said, sorry, we're not taking calls at this time. I thought that was weird. So I called again and I got the same message. So the phone line to crew scheduling was broken. And so I searched and I found a separate phone number for Hotel Connections. And so I called Hotel Connections and spoke to a very nice man who told me that the person responsible for my airline wasn't answering his phone, of course. So he said, let me take care of it. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. So he said, I have to call you back in like 10 minutes. I said, I've heard this before. He said, he laughed and he said, no, I promise I'll call you back. So 8 minutes later, he called me back and said that I was going to this hotel. It's not one that I've stayed in before. And that the shuttle would be here in like 10 minutes. So I was so grateful. Oh my goodness, I was so grateful. And then the van driver showed up on time and he was super, super nice, super charming. We had a really fun conversation, short because it's like a 10-minute drive, but really super nice, exactly what I needed. And then I got to my room and I'm just so grateful. My show time for tomorrow is at 4:55 in the morning. I can barely talk. I'm so tired. I'm taking the 4 a.m. shuttle. In theory, I could take the 4:30 shuttle, but, you know, with my luck on this trip especially, I'll be selected for random security search, you know, an extra random search. So it just always happens. So I'm taking the 4 o'clock shuttle just in case I need the extra time. I got plenty of time to sleep, so I'm not worried about, you know, that. So for dinner, since I only brought 2 meals and a lot of snacks. So there's a Denny's down the road, but I really am not in the mood to leave my hotel room. So I'm gonna just eat what snacks I have left. I have a ton of Cheez-Its, so I could eat a whole meal just of Cheez-Its. I've got like 4 or 5 of those little mandarin oranges left over and got some cashews in my water bottle. So I'm just gonna eat that stuff for dinner tonight. Watch a YouTube video or 2, pop some serious melatonin and pass out. That's my plan for tonight. So hopefully the next time I see you will be me on my way home tomorrow morning. When I wake up tomorrow, I'm trying to wake up around 3 o'clock to double check my flight information and hope that this flight is not canceled. Oh my God, that'd be awful. But so I will see you. Hopefully I won't see you until tomorrow morning. All right, so toodaloo, see you tomorrow. Thank you for coming with me today. I mean, honestly, if I hadn't had you to talk to, I would have gone crazy. Really, I would have gone crazy. So thanks for sticking with me, right? I'll see you. Good morning, guys. Hi, just a quick hello. I've got about 8 minutes, 9 minutes to get downstairs for the shuttle.
I made some hotel room coffee. I had a couple of those little mandarin oranges things for breakfast. This hotel room coffee, the lid doesn't fit the cup, so I'm going to try and drink this on the way downstairs without spilling it on myself while I pull my luggage. We'll see what happens. That's it. One leg home, please God. And I'll see you somewhere. Hopefully it's Vegas. All right, so the plane is here. That's good. We've got a handful of passengers over there. It is only 4:10 in the morning. I should have taken the 4:30 shuttle, but better early than late. So, going home. Thank God. Oh, hey guys, how are ya? Welcome back to Las Vegas. It is 8:43, somewhere around there. The flight was super easy, no challenges. I was working up in front with a coworker, Bree, who I've worked with often in the past. Yeah, just a nice flight, really nice flight. It was 4 hours and 50 minutes. We were full, every seat was packed. Yeah, super easy flight, and exactly what I needed after this trip. Last night, I got to bed about 7 o'clock last night, 7:30 I got in bed. I took 10 milligrams of melatonin. Yep, and it knocked me right out. I woke up like 5 or 6 times, though, to go to the bathroom and just, you know, just up and down, up and down. So I woke up around 3:15 and got the day started. Yeah, I think that's about it. That's about it. I'm going to head home, love on my cats. I've got 2 days off. I'm owed a DOR, a day of restoration. Since I have to work today, I was supposed to be back home yesterday about 12:30. Even with an IROP situation, they still had dozens of ways to get me back home. So I'm owed a DOR. I'm not going to call them to take that day off or to plan that day off for a couple days. I'm going to let this whole IROP situation go away before I bother them with something like that. So I'll call them in a few days to let them know what I would like to happen with that DOR. I've got 2 days off. I have pottery classes scheduled for both days. And there you go. That's my plan. So I'm going to let you guys go because I have to race home and use the little boy's room and take this uniform off as fast as I can. So I will see you guys. How's that for the end of a video? I will see you guys soon. Thank you for joining me and letting me vent to you. I appreciate it. And I'll see you soon. All right. Fly safe. Bye. Oh, I just got home a little while ago, and I saw these pigeons out in front, and hopefully my neighbors didn't see me put some bread out there for them, but oh. Look at my cats. Look at Buddy. Look at Buddy. They're so excited. Eleanor's gonna jump. Go ahead, Eleanor. This security grate is locked in 2 places, so they can't get out. But they are super excited. Look at that. Eleanor is ready. Look at Buddy. Oh my God, they're so excited.